Greetings, my name is LaShanta Little, and I serve as the Vice President of the South Metro Democratic Women's Council. The South Metro Democratic Women's Council is an organization that its purpose is to create awareness and facilitate support for various social issues and programs that are concerned to women in the South Metro and surrounding areas. The South Metro Democratic Women's Council is hosting a series of candidate conversations with all of the eligible candidates in the 8 South Metro cities for the upcoming municipal election. We've invited every eligible candidate to participate in this series. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing you to Arnold Jiggetts, also known as AJ, who is running for City Council District 4 in the City of South Fulton. So AJ, to get us started, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, good evening. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm well, Miss Little. Thanks for having me. I'd like to start by first giving thanks to the South Fulton Women's Democratic Council for allowing me to have this platform to express myself and allow people to get to know me and what I'm about and why I'm here. Thank you to you all for the service that you do in our community. I really appreciate that. So I'll start by saying my name is Arnold Jiggetts, but I prefer for people to call me AJ. People have been calling me AJ for all my life. I think it's simple and it's more personable. So if you simply call me AJ, I'll respond or just say, hey neighbor, can I speak with you? And that's good enough for me. I'm a family man. I've been in this community since 2004 in South Fulton. I'm a graduate of Shaw University in Raleigh, North Carolina, where we are the oldest HBCU in the South. I love to say that, and I say that with pride. No slight on any of my other HBCU alum. I'm just prideful about mine that, you know, we're starters and we're leaders. I'm a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, and salute to you, my sorority sister, and Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, and all my other D9 sororities and my frats. I'm a director in our city's development authority. I'm a 2-time elected office holder. I hold the office of secretary and treasurer, and I'm excited about that.
Okay, so tell us why you are running for this office.
Good question. I'm running for this office to represent my neighbors because I generally feel like I've been doing the work already. You know, I think everybody should have an opportunity to participate in the growth and the development of our city or any city that you live in, and the movement of our community. I believe I can resonate with the people, and I think I understand the people. And I believe that not just because I've been around the community and I've gotten to know people and I've talked to people. And I believe strongly that I embody what people need and want in a representative.
So I guess as you're saying, you embody what people need and want. What is it that you're running on? What's your platform?
So for me, it's kind of simple. I'm running to build a bigger, better, stronger community. My goal is to impact the lives of people daily. I want to impact your quality of life. I've been able to do a lot of things with my own resources. I believe having a platform as representing my community would allow me to help more people. I'm running on responsible development, public safety, community development, small business development, and expanding our parks and recs footprint in our community. Those are the priorities that I strongly believe will unite us as a community and move our city forward.
Okay, so what makes you qualified for this position?
It's a good question. So very basic things make you qualified, right? Live here, eligible to vote, you know, in good standing, all that good stuff, right? But let me tell you what makes me uniquely qualified. As an entrepreneur for 25 plus years, I've had the ability to create programs, lead people, and generate revenue. You know, there's a lot that comes along with building an organization, and to some extent, government is similar to running an organization. You know, some people kind of liken it to a business. You know, as an entrepreneur, I've had the skill. It takes a very unique skill set of collaborating with people, listening, working with less, how to solve problems, having a plan. Having a plan is important. Being intentional is important. Those are the skill sets that allow you to transition from being simply a good community person and a good involved person to being a good representative for your community.
Okay. So going on 2 years now, we've been in the midst of a pandemic. COVID-19 has really taken a toll on the country. We've lost over 500,000 people. And so if you were elected, are there any legislative priorities you would support and or push for as it relates to combating this pandemic, or even with assistance for COVID-19 purposes?
Oh, this one, there's a lot. And there are a lot of people doing a lot of things to help. One thing that I believe that is important to helping people recover from COVID is their ability to take care of their families. Something I'm strongly passionate about is business development, specifically small business development. And I'll even be more specific in saying home-based businesses. Mm-hmm. This year I had with a team of mine, some good friends here in the community, some not, we created an event and an organization, the Homebased Business Expo. This has nothing to do with me running, right? But it is a reflection of who I am and my foresight and my vision. The Homebased Business Expo was completely about saluting and celebrating and highlighting home-based business owners. On this, it was a virtual event. We had the luxury of supporting and promoting about 25 local business owners, home-based business owners, to be specific. This is important because when you think about the resources for small business owners, most of those resources are designed for the brick and mortars. You know, the businesses that may make 500,000 threshold, you know, the businesses that may have 10 to 200 employees, the businesses that may have been in business for 5 to 7 years plus. Here's the deal. We learned at the Home-Based Business Expo that in our city alone, home-based business owners generate upwards of $17 million to our economy. That sounds really good, right? But a lot of home-based business owners are still struggling with the access to resources. So something I'm passionate about, and I think that will completely help us bounce back from COVID-19, is finding quality programming that fits for home-based business owners, right? You got your lawn care guys, you got your consultants, you got your photographers, you have your bakers and your makers of products. The list is long of the types of industries that home-based businesses represent. And I strongly believe to bounce back from COVID, one of the best things we can do is support people. And besides, you know, we do know that a lot of people lost a lot, family, life, and jobs. And people have come home and started businesses. They need the ability to bridge the gap from maybe working in corporate for a while and now needing to figure it out. And I believe with my small business ecosystem plan, we'll be able to afford that opportunity for our home-based business owners and help them rebound from COVID.
Okay. What can constituents look forward to from you that they're not already receiving? strictly related to this position?
I'm present. I'll be present. I won't be an absentee representative. I can't be. I'm here. I'm too involved in the community, right? Like people will see me and see different things, right? And I think that's good, right? They'll see me and they'll see, oh, AJ, that's the guy that started the kickball league for women, or oh, that's my daughter's coach, or that's the guy that was with pressure washing my Avery. They think I'm Avery sometimes, but I'm not, right? That's my son, right? Or maybe they'll see, AJ, the guy that always talks about, economic development in our community and the good things that can come from that. So people will be able to relate with me and understand that I'm accessible and I'm responsive and I'm here to listen and bring us together. That's what people can expect from me. If you want me to go a little further, if I may.
Okay.
More specifically, what people will see from me that they probably don't experience now is a stronger sense of community. Like, I'll always go back to that. That's why I'm here. I'm here to build a bigger, better, stronger community and impact the quality of life for our residents. And I think we can do that through responsible development. We have the most undeveloped land in South Fulton, probably Metro Atlanta. There's no reason that we can't separate our residential from the thousands of acres of undeveloped green space that we have that's not intrusive to most people north of Cedar Grove, south of Cascade Palmetto, east of 92 and Cascade Palmetto. There's no reason we can't use that green space, not all of it. I want to save some trees, I want the air to be clean. However, I understand from being in the community that people are tired of traveling too far for quality amenities. I think that's something that may be an easy touch, but the reality of it, our district have different thoughts. There are people who think differently. I think we can have it all. I think we can have it all with quality development that is not intrusive to your everyday life, but it's impactful when you need it. It's like insurance, right? It's like insurance, right? You don't need it till you need it.
Yes.
So I think that's what people can expect from me. They can expect for me to be responsive. They can expect for me to be accessible. They can relate to me. Like, I can't hide, I'm here because I've been present doing these things in our community, supporting the community. So I can't get away from them, right? They already see me. So I'm accessible, I can listen. And we can do a lot of good things in the community that aren't happening now. We got 2 parks, 0 programming.
Okay. So District 4,
Yes,
well,
ma'am.
not even just District 4, in the South Metro region in general, we've become a little bit boxed in with some of the warehouses coming up. What are your thoughts on these warehouses?
So if you read my material, you'll see it. I say blunt, no more warehouses. Don't get me wrong. I think warehouses serve an incredible purpose to any community. They provide viable opportunities for employment.
Mm-hmm.
And I know people don't like warehouses, but they do like the fact that people are not at your doorstep because they got gainful employment, right? They do like that. They like the security of people having jobs. I think strongly that we can have warehouses, but maybe not in our residential communities, right? Maybe where they should go, like Fulton Industrial, or the other industrial areas in our city, but maybe not where we live. Unfortunately, through our quest for cityhood, one of our neighboring cities saw an opportunity and, they snatched it, right? They saw an opportunity. And not only that, this may be argumentative, maybe, I don't know. And people say you shouldn't be that way, but the reality of it is, I think they did what worked for them in their city. Their warehouses are in their city's backyards. Unfortunately for us, is our front yards. When I drive down South Fulton, that's where I live. I'm impacted by that daily. I come up and down South Fulton Parkway. I see these trucks, the accidents. My neighbor was in a 2-car pileup. His car flipped 7 times, trying to avoid a truck coming down South Fulton. So my stance on warehouses is, one, no more. We need them in the right places. So I won't say no more, but we need them in the right places. They provide quality, gainful employment for people that need jobs. And that's important. We should always consider that. We just need to be very mindful where they are. If I'm so humble to be the servant of this community, I think we could change the conversation around the warehouses and our approach to them. Because everybody's going to say, no more warehouses.
Yeah.
I think we should have a conversation with our neighbors. And I think that conversation, and I understand people are going to say, you can't tell nobody what to do. But here's the reality. We can attempt to have a conversation with our neighbors where these warehouses are. They're going to be there for the next 100+ years. We're going to be affected by that. Our air quality, our quality of life. I think we should foster better relationships with our neighbors on our borders of Union City. I don't know if I should have said that, but everybody knows the warehouses are in Union City. But I think if we can have a conversation with the leadership there, and not be argumentative and combative, right? If we can have a viable conversation and demonstrate how we're impacted by these warehouses, maybe we can figure out how we can share in some of this revenue, right? Mm-hmm. I think that's a different approach. I think that's a different conversation. That's a fight I'm willing to have. Like when I say fight, I don't mean being adversarial. I mean the energy, the vigor, the stamina to have that conversation, the vision to have that conversation, fostering the relationships to have that conversation. Hey, we're impacted over here, right? Yeah. 98% of the people that leave from District 4 and District 3, probably even 2, sometimes, probably come either down Stonewall Tell, Derrick Road, or South Fulton towards 85. That's a good chunk of our neighbors. That to me represents us being impacted by the influx of warehouses. So I think we should have we could have a better conversation with our neighbors. And if we can approach them in a less adversarial capacity, mm-hmm. and more of demonstrating the effect these warehouses have had on us in our community, I think it makes for a good, strong reason why we could possibly share in revenues.
What resources would you be looking to bring to the city of South Fulton?
Ooh, you got some good questions over there, but I like it. So for me, I think trying to increase the quality of life through quality development that brings jobs and resources, right? And you have to have a decent workforce in order to support a certain type of industry. I think if we invest our time, effort, and energy in developing those types of foundations, those types of programs, right? Mm-hmm. Under my small business ecosystem priority, you'll see that we're strongly about developing our young people through, one, entrepreneurship, mm-hmm. and through skills and trades programs, right? If you can't expect people to want to bring a certain industry to you without them having a strong workforce. So I think developing a strong workforce so that makes us attractive to various industries is a resource that I would bring. Developing our workforce. Making sure our infrastructure is on par. You can't build the cool things people want without having quality infrastructure. Having the smart people at the city, which we got some incredible people working in our city, help guide us into understanding those next steps. So we have to be fertile. We have to be prepared in order to grow and be the dynamic city that we can be. I think some of the resources are our parks and recs. Like this generates the quality of life. I want to increase our footprint in parks and recs.
Okay.
When people can get out and socialize and be active safely in a post-COVID society, right? It fosters a different set of energy. It's a different energy. It's a different pride. And I'm glad you actually said in the city and not in South Fulton. I mean, not in District 4. I have a holistic mindset, right? I think we have a strong opportunity to celebrate the character of each one of our districts. And once we tune into that collectively as a city, and we celebrate the character of all of our districts, it only makes us ripe for growth.
That's true. Okay. So if people are looking to find out more about who you are, your platform, how to get involved in your campaign, how can they contact you?
AJ4 SouthFulton.com. AJ4SouthFulton.com. I want to tell you something about that.
Okay.
I thought about, we all running campaigns and we all got handles and things of that nature. I struggle with this because, people are very critical, and that's okay. But I want people to understand that given the opportunity to represent this community, it's not limited to representing simply District 4. I'll be definitely a protector of the quality of life we have here. I'll promote and grow the quality of life. I absolutely will build us a bigger, better, stronger community through my platform and working and collaborating with the colleagues at City Hall, the smart people, the staff. I call them the smart people. I never try to be the smart person. I want it to be the other people. If I'm in the room and I'm the smartest one, I'm in the wrong room. But I want people to understand that we have a whole city to take care of.
Mm-hmm.
I think our council has done a pretty decent job. I think we can do better. I think we can do better with having a holistic mindset. And that's completely who I am. And that's why my handles are AJ4 South Fulton, because I completely understand that being a representative in District 4 is not simply representing District 4. However, it's about the role District 4 plays in the entirety of the city. Does that make sense?
It does. So before we wrap up, is there anything else that you would like the constituents to know, primarily in District 4, as to why you're the best candidate to fill that position?
I want the people in District 4 to understand, and I believe they'll get it, right? I strongly believe that they will understand that I identify with them. I'm just like them. I'm not much different. The difference in me and most of the people in my district is simply that I've chose to take on the work that comes with being a representative. I've been a leader most of my adult life. I've solved problems, I've collaborated, I've worked with people, I've solved issues, I've listened, I've built programs and organizations. This would not be that different from doing that. I think people will understand that I'm just like them. I'm a small business owner. I understand the disconnect in the resources. I have children. We all want the same things, right? We want a better quality of life. We don't want to travel too far for cool things, but we don't equally want to be interrupted in enjoying our quality of life. We don't want to be disruptive to that. I want people to understand that we have a safe community. We can be a little safer. If my neighbor feels uncomfortable, I should feel a little uncomfortable. well, you know, if my neighbor's impacted, I'm impacted.
Mhm.
I want people to understand that through my representation, and people like to say leadership, I call it representation. Through my representation, we'll have a stronger quality of life. We'll increase our Parks and Recs footprint. We'll develop programs for our young people. You won't have to take your kids too far out of your area to have quality programming at your Parks and Recs. If you're my seniors, for my seniors, you cannot have quality Parks and Recs programming without considering the impact on the seniors in the community. Mobility for seniors. Community development. I want people to understand that when you have all this development going on, the community should benefit. Those are called community benefits agreements. We should have those. We should have a committee that comes together that understands that when something goes up, something comes down, and we can all benefit from that. I think our public safety, I think Chief Meadows has done an impactful job. I think we can decrease our response times, make them shorter, obviously, right? I strongly believe we can incorporate mental health professionals as a part of our law enforcement. And I think we can also look at revisiting, you know, our revenue generated cameras in our communities. You know, I think we can look at that a little better as it pertains to public safety in our community. You know, these are the things that people can expect from my representation. I'm accessible, I'm responsive, I can work well with others. I've done this already. I understand building something from nothing, and we're still in our infancy stages as a city.
Well, thank you, AJ, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to have this conversation with the South Metro Democratic Women's Council. These conversations are vital to all of the residents, and they make them get to know you on a personal level and know a little bit more about your platform. So we wish you the best of luck on your campaign.
My name is Arnold Jiggetts, but you can call me AJ. Thank you.